I hope everyone is having a wonderful week. I'm just going to find myself here. Looks like I'm live. Hello, hello, hello. Can everyone hear me okay? I know my hair is just a nightmare. Let me see. Can you hear me? Looks like it. Sounds like it. Okay, so let me switch here. Hello. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week. Excuse the messy hair and the hoodie. It was like minus 15 again here this morning, so it was a comfy day. So I am not going to talk a whole lot. Partially, I've gained so much weight. It's just awful. You ever get to a point where you're like, I don't even know where to start? Anyways, I digress. Let's do some crafting live. I just want to remind you that there's only a few days left for Celebration. It ends on February 28th at the end of day. So if there's anything you're wanting from Celebration, you better get it now. And I have quite a bit of DSP left. So I am going to have a special this week where if you order $50 or more with me, you will get the make and takes for tonight's projects. We're making 3. So, yeah, you will get that. And if you go up to the $60 threshold before taxes and shipping, you will also get to choose free embellishment, adhesive, up to $11 retail before taxes, shipping, all that stuff. So I'm going to flip this around because I don't want to look at myself. And I will show you what we're going to do. Now, I do have a PDF available for tonight's projects, but I want to make sure that it all works, makes sense. So I will test that out. Let me minimize all of this, bring up the PDF. So I just want to make sure that it's all good before I share it with you. Where did I go? I'm going to take this little part out. Let's delete this. Okay, that seemed to work. Let's move my iPad out of the way. How's everybody doing? You all having a wonderful week? I don't know if it's going fast. Diane says, yes, she can hear me. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry that I missed last week. If you follow me, you know that we're doing some home renos, and they actually went really well. I don't know where to put this. Let's just put it here. We're doing some home renos, and they went really well. They are not finished, but Dave is going to finish the rest during the weekends, the upcoming weekends. So the bulk of it is done. My flooring in here didn't get changed, and my son's flooring hasn't gotten changed yet, but they will. But it was like, get the main spaces, the common spaces done, and we'll deal with the rest when we can. So tonight, I actually was going to do this as a class, and it just didn't happen. And I thought, well, the designing is already done. We'll type up a quick tutorial, and then you can get this free with a purchase. So it'll be like a free online class. I'd say a mini class, but it's 3 cards. And they're all fun folds. Now, this one folds flat. This is the last one we're going to make. I cased Kelly Atchison on this one. It is super cute. Now, if I were to make it again, I would make it so that it's the full A2 size. It fits into an A2 envelope, but that would be the size. So it can fold either way, but I would like it where it's like the full height. So I will do that at some point. So we've got that one, we've got this one, and I didn't actually do it where you have something that can be inserted here, although you can have this piece pull out, but it is a full card, and then I like that it opens there. You could tuck something in. And then this one, the bow kind of keeps it closed. It's a cute little gatefold card, but this is a rather delicate oval. So let's get our craft on because this could take a while. Now, if you follow me on my YouTube channel, speaking of which, I should probably pull that up, huh? If you follow me on YouTube, I will have a video coming this week. I know I'm all over the place right now, and I'm so sorry about that because that is not my intent at all. I mean, my goal is to stay consistent. But with these renos, there has just been too much banging and dust and all of the nasty stuff going on. So I just have not been able to do what I want to do. So I will have a video coming out this week, but it's going to be on Friday. Usually it would be on a Monday. Okay, so I've got YouTube pulled up. Let's pull Facebook back in. There we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So fingers crossed that ManyCam still keeps working tonight. Hi Pam, hi Feline. The house reno is going great. I know I said I was going to share pictures and I haven't. My husband has all the befores on his phone and he's been fantastic, if I'm being honest. Thank you, Amy. Hi Tammy. He's been fantastic, but he was a little short the other day and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to tick him off, so I'm just gonna leave it. And when he is in a better mood, when he's not so stressed, I will ask for the before pictures because it really looks fantastic in here, but we have no trim around any doors or windows or anything. So it'll be a work in progress kind of shot. So yes, Melissa, you can catch the replay. I've got your kit here. I'm still waiting. I know I've had 2 shipments in the last day and a half, but I don't know what they are. And as soon as your back ordered items come in, I will let you know. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside. Now, one of the things that I'm going to need to change on my PDF is I called this field and flower in every instance. It's actually flower and field. And if you spend that $50 with me this week, not only will you get the free PDF, which I will upload after I'm live, worst case tomorrow morning, you'll get all of the supplies to make these 3 cards, but you will also get a 12 by 12 pack of the flower and field DSP. So that will end on February 28th because that's as long as this paper is available. I do have a couple packs here, but that is the gist of it. So I am going to pull up my PDF. We're making this cute little lady first. I have to say this was not my favorite paper, but it makes some great cards. So we need a 5.5 by 8.5 cherry cobbler card base, and we're not scoring it as usual. We're making a gatefold, but I want to grab a couple of pieces of this DSP while I'm in here. I just flipped it over to see, right? Did you see that? Okay, so we need, I'm going to grab another sheet of this. This should be enough. I haven't done any of the cutting. I wanted you to see all of this. Also, my day kind of got away from me. I ended up having to come home early because my son can't be alone all day, and it was my day in the office. Okay, so I'm going to focus now. 5 3/8 is our height. And we need 2 inches by 5 3/8, and we need 4 of these. So we're going to need 2 sheets. I can't believe Celebration's almost over. I have 2 remaining stamp sets to give away. So instead of, share, by all means, share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But if you comment any comments, okay? If you tell me that you're in Canada, because unfortunately I can't ship prizes across the border, but comment, tell me you're from Canada, and I will do a random pick. I've got 2 stamp sets. One of them is the Heal Your Heart. The other is the Punch Party, which is the $375 host stamp set. And I also have 4 of the Berry Blessing stamp sets with the packages of DSP, but they have been cut to 6 by 12. So you can get the Berry Blessing stamp set and the full package of paper, but 6 by 12. Okay? So just comment that you're from Canada and I'm going to be giving all this stuff away. Got to make room, right? Okay, so I need a cherry cobbler card base. Oh, look at that. We have a 5.5 by 8.5 right here. And my husband is out right now at Home Depot going to get some closet doors and some trim and all of that stuff. So with this gatefold, there are two ways that you can do it. We can score at 2 1/8 on either end. But I want to see if this is going to work, because 6 3/8, whoops, should be the other one. But you know what? Anytime it gets to about the 6-inch mark, I like to work on this side because I can see it. So let's flip it around and do 2 1/8. It's great that they put all of the little tick marks in here, but it's kind of a guessing game, and it drives me crazy. Okay, so we're going to fold that down. Hi, Crystal. Pam, it did warm up. It was actually, I'm sorry, Feline. It was very mild over the weekend. Like, it was like +5 on Sunday, I think. And then this morning it was -15 again. But it's not -50, so that is something. Okay, I'm going to glue these. How is everybody's weather doing? Do we have anyone from Texas watching right now? I know their weather was just awful, and the power outages. Oy. And I know, I think we all thought, well, this is what winter is. But knowing a couple of Texans, virtually, I mean, I don't know them in person, they are not equipped for that. Like, they don't have winter jackets. They don't have snow plows. They don't, like, they've got palm trees, for crying out loud. So they are not equipped for that kind of weather. And no one wants to be without power for that long, right? Must be awful. Do you, Crystal? You know what? Tiffany is the only reason I have this stamp set. When we started designing for our Galentine's retreat, she was using that one. This one totally went on crooked, but that's okay. You won't tell, right? So she was designing with that one, and she sold me on it. It's just so cute. And it doesn't have to be like a childish design. It can be something pretty. It can be something adorable. I mean, it's all in the coloring. Hi, Deborah. So we have YouTube and Facebook going for now. Fingers crossed that ManyCam keeps working, because if it freezes up, unfortunately, it means that I can't stream to YouTube at the same time, which is frustrating. And I think, I see some demonstrators doing the live stream to both. But when you're doing like 3 cards, like you're doing a class, I think it draws a lot more like bandwidth. And I mean, we're doing this for like an hour plus instead of 30 minutes. Hi, Donna. Oh, I'm dyslexic, number dyslexic. Let me think about that. I'm pretty sure it's petal pink, because I know that Tiffany was talking recently about the fact that I always forget to use ivory as the skin color. And she uses ivory. I tend to use light petal pink. You use whatever you have. But that tends to be what I do. You just got this set, Jill. Oh, summer without power and water. I can't even imagine. Oh, Jenny, that's not good. That's good, Feline. How did they manage to get rid of it? Because I think you mentioned there's no snow plows. They sold all the plows. So we've got some live crafting and some nationwide or continent-wide weather updates. Okay, so I'm adding a 4x5 1/4 basic white mat. It's so hard to get out of the habit of saying whisper white. And And I'm going to add, I don't know, I've got a little bit of DSP on the inside at the bottom, but if I don't do that this time, it's not the end of the world. We need to get our die cutting going. So I'll grab a scrap of cherry cobbler because we're going to do, if you can see, I've got a stitched oval on the back here, totally optional, but I made these weeks ago, and I mean, you know me. So I think what I did, I'm going to measure with my dies when I hold them up, but the inside part, like I'm die cutting one oval out of cherry cobbler, the large one, and then I'm going to line up my stitched die so that I can use that on the back of this. So I need a stitched basic white and a stitched cherry cobbler. Clear as mud, right? And I'm out of breath. Oh, I've got no basic white. I mean, I do, I just don't have any cut. I need to take some time to sit and fill up my bin. But there are like 9 million things to do these days. I've got video tutorials galore, written tutorials, like, it's nuts. Okay, so of course the ovals I'm using for a video that I have to do in the next couple of days are the dies that I need. So I have these ones set aside. We'll do the cherry cobbler inside with that, but we are going to do one more. This one bigger? Nope, that's smaller. I'm pretty sure it's this one. So we'll die cut this with cherry cobbler, and we can actually do both at the same time. If you line them up, that should work. I think this is the right size. Hi, Linda. Okay. Run that through. Now, if I had a bigger oval die, I would have created a bigger oval for the clasp part of this, but I'm using the largest ones that we have. So that looks right. So we'll have to do a stitched white one as well, but we don't need that the outer one. So see, this is my frame. I'm gonna have to take my sweatshirt off. I'm boiling. Thank you for sharing, ladies. So if you are in Canada, mention that you're in Canada and you will be entered to win one of a bunch of prizes. Okay, so I still need that. Let's use this for the oval. Everyone likes a fun fold, right? Hi, Susan. You haven't missed much. We're making a gatefold with a little fun clasp-like detail. Don't think I need those again, but we shall see. So the way we need to do this is we're going to, I should have actually used adhesive sheet on this. We'll put some glue on there, and we're only gluing it down on the right side. And then when we adhere our oval, we're only going to adhere that on the left side. But I'll stamp and color that first. So I need my memento. It's funny, I only missed a week and I feel so out of practice. It's almost like I was nervous. And my husband and his contractor were so courteous. Like, we had our, was it the Galentine's? No. I had a Zoom call, I had something else, and they were just so great about it. I'm like, okay, it's quiet time. And they totally respected it. So I thought, you know, I can't make them stop again for me to do Facebook Live. It's just, it cuts into their time. It's too loud. Thank you, Julie. Okay, I have to say this, I think, is my favorite girl of the three. Which one is your favorite? I'm not stamping a sentiment on this because it really could be for anything, but this stamp set does have some adorable sentiments. Always be yourself. You're a tough act to follow. I heart my besties. Hey, girlfriend, you can count on me, and your kindness touches my heart. Lots of great options. So I am going to color her top with Cherry Cobbler. I'm bringing in my grid paper. Can you tell I was doing a bit of ink blending? Okay, so I'm not going to do a whole bunch of shading. I will add a little bit of the dark Cherry Cobbler to her bow. Now, if you're uncomfortable getting into these really small spaces with your blends, you can always use the Stampin' Write markers. They don't blend, but if you need color in a spot and you're not worried about the blending, then do that. If you're more concerned about going outside the lines than you are blending, use your Stampin' Write markers because they have a really fine tip. This bullet tip can be a little too big at times. Kathy, this is the Flower and Field DSP. I'm going to use just the dark Cherry Cobbler for her top. This is like so 90s. It's almost like she's wearing a bodysuit. My son and I have been catching up on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Not catching up, watching it. And one of the episodes we just watched, one of the girls had a bodysuit on. I'm like, whoa, that's a blast from the past. Those things were awful. Almost looks like a tank top or a baseball shirt right now. I do find these girls can be a little tricky to color because everything is so small, but I feel like if they had made them a little bit bigger, it wouldn't have the same impact. They're cute, they're dainty, just adorable. And I've used them actually a few times. I'm surprised. Tiffany really sold me. Hi, Cindy. 54 degrees. Oh, nice. I can't even say the word because only one of the dogs is in the room, but they know that if I say W-A-L-K, they'll expect to go, so I have to spell it. So for her skirt, I'm doing it black, and I'm using the dark basic black to just go over any of the lines and outline it. Because this is like jet black, it's very forgiving if you don't stay on the lines. Now, if you went outside the lines and you try and lift it, good luck. And then I'm going to basically just dot in her shoes. And then with the light basic black, I'm just going to go in and color. I'm not going to go over these spots multiple times because I still want to see that outline and I want it to stay within the lines. We're giving her some blonde hair. I will use the light petal pink for the skin. I have found that with this girl's neck in particular, go over it once and then don't touch it again. It's very easy for the ink to bleed, and then she's got a fuzzy neck. So for the skin, especially because we're in very small areas, go over it once and just leave it. Don't do multiple coats. Don't try blending it. Get in, get out. Okay, so light petal pink. I almost said ivory. And I am going to use my favorite pink for cheeks. It's Rococo Rose. And oh, if you haven't heard me say it before, I am so going to miss this color. Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray. Like, time is running out, ladies. If you want to get your hands on the outgoing in colors, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, do it quick, because once Stampin' Up! Announces that they are going, they can go quickly, and once they're out, they are out. So for her hair, I feel like a real chatterbox. Ah, that's so funny, Linda. I was spelling something the other day and someone said, what if they can spell? I'm like, oh, well, then I'm really in trouble because we spell TREAT all the time. If they get that smart, then I'm in trouble. Okay, so I'm using Dark Daffodil Delight to just add in some, I guess these would be low lights because I'm using Light So Saffron for the rest of her hair. That just came off. And we'll go in with the Light So Saffron for the rest of it. And I just kind of go around that. If you don't like coloring, this definitely wouldn't be a good set to get because there is a lot of coloring. I love it. I'm using the Dark So Saffron and we'll just go in like basically around her roots. Blend it just a little bit because this is going to be like the rest of her. You don't want to stay and oversaturate it. Now, I feel like you would see her hair through her glasses. So we'll do that. And the final touch on this lady, other than a little bit of smoky slate at her feet, just so she's not floating there, is to add a tiny bit of Stella on her lips, her shoes, and the heart that she's making. And I know you probably can't see a whole lot, but isn't she sweet? So we're going to put her on the cherry cobbler stitched circle. Make sure that you turn it around. There are very few things that, I mean, who am I kidding? There's a lot of things that bug me. Having the stitches, like the back side of it, drives me crazy. Oh, wait. That's not what I'm supposed to do. This bow is so cute, but it does get in the way. Okay, so oh, yes, they do go together. False alarm. I was thinking they wrapped around that thing, but no. Okay, so we'll put those together, line them up. I recommend looking at them from both sides. Okay, and now remember, we're just putting adhesive on the one side. You don't want to go all the way across. I'm going to put it on here. Lift it up, make sure that we don't have any glue. If you do get a little bit of runoff like that, just use an adhesive eraser when it's dry. And now we can go ahead and add the glue. Remember, we're only adding glue to half of this one too. Because this is so thin, I think I would recommend using the adhesive sheets. Turn it into a sticker. So now we need to close it. And we're putting the glue on the right side. This part could be a little tricky because right now it does not want to go down. I've got a little bit of overlap in there. Okay, there we go. And just rub away any extraneous glue. So it's not glued. Oh, it took me too long. I'm going to take off just a tiny bit of the side on here so that it lays flat. It's going to take away the little bit of matte that we had. But you do want it to lay flat. That should be okay. Okay, let's try that again. Oh my gosh, it's so quiet. I'm the only one home. TV's off. And if you all are talking to me, I can't hear it. I wish I could. You know, Tiffany and I do a Zoom class for our Blends Club each month. And it is so nice to be able to see everyone's face, hear people talking, interact. Facebook Live is so very one-sided. And don't get me wrong, it's fun. I love it. I love that you can watch me craft, but I wish that I could see you and talk to you. converse with you, not just talk to you, because I'm doing that now. Okay, I think that's good. So that is the first one. I added the bow the first time, but it really does get in the way. If you do make that purchase with me where you get the make and take kits, you will get the bow, but I think I'm going to leave it off this time. And let that sit for a few minutes. I just want to make sure that it opens. You want to make sure that it can open. So if there is glue that's in a spot where it shouldn't be, you don't want it to dry because you'll never get it open. Not without ripping this dainty, delicate little oval. Okay, so when you go to close it, it's like an interlocking gate fold, but it's a very dainty little oval. Okay, and you could probably put like a little piece of Velcro or maybe even a magnet on there, but I am going to skip that bow this time. Let's see if it makes a difference in the way that it opens and closes. Okay, so there's our first. What do you think? You're like, Ashley, I can't see it. Hi, Roz. Okay, so there's our first little lady. Can't really see her wink of Stella, but you can on this one if I hold it a certain way. Of course not. Anyways, trust me, it's there. Okay, so this is the first one. That bow really does make a difference, doesn't it? Now, on to the second one. Thank you, Kathy. Okay, so our next one is a double point card. And there are so many tutorials on this on YouTube. It was actually Lynn Dunn's. Thank you, Crystal. It was Lynn Dunn that I found had the easiest tutorial and didn't take forever to get into. So I used that, but I did change it because usually when you make this kind of fold, you would have a basic white or like some kind of insert that you could pull in and out. I chose to have it all one piece and then have the part that opens. Okay, so I need a So Saffron card base. Let's get all these ovals out of here. It's okay, I'm not going to run you over. Okay, so we are going to score this at 5.5 inches. Right? I think that's why they're so cute, is the whole paper doll thing. And I mean, it would be tedious, but could you imagine if they had like different outfits that had the little tabs on there? Okay, so we're cutting this at 4 1/4, scored at 5.5, cut at 4 1/4. Aw, thank you, Cindy. You know, I think this stamp set was one that you really needed to see samples of in order to kind of change your mind. Okay, so I've got some Flower and Field DSP. If you haven't noticed, the theme tonight is the Flower and Field DSP and the Hey Girlfriend. I felt like using this deep, more regal-like paper was going to take me into a different color palette when coloring these girls. They don't all have to be like super bright and juvenile, for lack of a better word. Like, they don't have to be all cartoony. They can be on the elegant side. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's make this girl. Now, with this, it's a little confusing, so stay with me. And if you find that I'm not explaining it well, I would highly suggest going to watch Lynn Dunn's video. So this is a piece of 4x6 right now. We are going to cut it down. We're going to leave it at the 4-inch mark, but we're going to cut it down to 3. So this will make 2 pieces. Now, when you have a directional one, you have to decide which is the top and which is the bottom. So this is going to be my top. I'm going to score it at 1 inch. Okay. You know what? It's probably a lot easier to explain this way than it is to explain in writing. So this one's my bottom. I'm going to score it at the bottom at 1 inch. And I had to refresh myself on the instructions on this. So we're going to fold both of these. Does that look right? I think this might be too short. It seems like an awful lot. It was on a 3 inch. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now I think I'm okay. We're going to fold it in towards the center. So line it up on that bottom edge. Give it a good burnish. Bring in that other side. This is actually the first time I've ever made this kind of fold. Now, if it's not a perfect point, that's okay, because you can see that our stitch nested dies cover that. So now here's the top. We're going to do the same thing. Fold it, bring it in the middle. And you could score it at the 2 inch mark so that you know where you're doing this. Or you can just freestyle and do what I'm doing. Okay, so now we need a piece of this dotty paper. That was easy to find. And we're going to cut that down to 4 by 5 1/4. 5 1/2, sorry. 5 1/2. Yep, got to change that. See, this is why I'm not putting the file up before I do the live, because there are things that I have to work out as I go. It's so easy. Oh, I always cut my DSP to 4 inches. Always. Except this time, apparently. So this is the same pattern. This is the front and the back. So now we're not going to adhere this quite yet. We need to adhere this on here. So this is the bottom, this is the top. At this point, it doesn't really matter what happens. We'll put a little bit of glue. This piece, glue it down. Add some glue here. If you don't want to use liquid glue, you could use Tear and Tape or Seal Plus. Totally up to you. So just line that up. The thing I love about Tombow is that you get a little bit of wiggle room. So you can see that I can still put my hand in here. We're only going to glue these points to our stitched nested die. We're not going to glue this down. I might have put that a little bit too high. Just give it a burnish. Sticky hands. Hi, Carolyn. How are you doing, my friend? I didn't see that you joined. Okay, so a little bit of glue on the back here. Whoa. Okay, line it up. Make sure that it folds. Okay, and that is the basis of our card. We've got, looks a little long. Maybe I should have stuck to 5 1/4. Anyways, I'm going to glue this on. I'm going to say, I'll change the instructions so that we have 5 3/8 by 4. Because 5 1/2 is taking it just a little bit too long. It's okay that it's over on just a smidge, but I think we'll do 5 3/8. See, we're testing. I've never done this one, Roz. Not sure why. Maybe because it looked too intimidating. It looked like a lot of DSP, but when you look at it, I mean, you've got your one panel and then you've got, it's 2 sheets of 4 by 6. Now I need some basic white. We'll use the stitch nested die, and I did put the measurements in here about which ones to use. So for the white, it is 2 1/16 by 3 7/8. So it gets very specific. They are right here. So instead of measuring these, I'm just gonna figure out which one it is. It's not that one. Okay, so the basic black is the second largest, and that one is 2 3/8 by 4 1/4. I didn't just check that one. That's too small. that one's too big, but I guess not. So it is the second and third largest. So the third largest is the basic white, and the second largest is the basic black. Let's see, will this fit on here? Just. I figured there was a little bit of black in the DSP, and I wanted to reinforce that. You could use the green that's in there as well. But I thought because I was using the cherry cobbler and the daffodil delight, I don't know if you can see my little cat. Isn't he cute? She, I guess. I wanted the black to come in, but the green would look nice as well. Okay, so we'll snap and color her. It's funny with all the drywall dust and everything going on. It's so dusty everywhere. Okay, so we can actually go ahead and attach these now. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the points here. And line it up. And then I just love this girl's hair. I love it. So this is the one with the curly hair, and I used a couple of different shades in here. So I used dark pumpkin pie, soft suede, hay, and cinnamon cider. I'll bring another block. Keep those, except now that I need that one. Actually, I find that an H block is the best one to stamp this girl with. Thank you. I just love these girls. But I wanted to, because I've been so tied up with renos and work and tutorials galore, I wanted to remind you that Celebration is ending. We're going to have another one in the summer, but this one is almost over, so you just have a couple more days. So speaking of tutorials, I have a video that's going to go live on Friday. That is the Global Stampin' Video Hop. It's international, hence the global. That's on Friday. I'm going to color her dress first, and I did dark cherry cobbler, dark and light cherry cobbler. I did her flower. I've got dark around these petals, so you can see I'm just doing some dots in there, and I'll blend it out. So Friday is the video, and then the 1st is coming up. I don't even know what day is the 1st. Monday. The Stamping Society tutorial and blog hop will be live, so my team members get that free. And this month we are featuring our favorite sweet from the mini catalog, and I am doing the sweet ice cream bundle or ice cream corner. Okay, so for this little flower I am doing light cherry cobbler, and then I'll add some Wink Estella in the middle. So that's Stamping Society, and then I joined another tutorial group because I don't have enough going on, and that one should be going live on the 1st as well, and that is using the new Butterfly Brilliance products. They are on pre-order to demonstrators this month, and will be live to customers next month. Can you believe it's almost March? Unbelievable! I feel like there's one more tutorial. There could be. Been inundated, and there's one design I can't wait to show you, but I've got to wait for the video to go live on Friday. And if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you saw that I joined a prompt challenge for February. That didn't work. Between the reno and everything else going on, it was the first thing to fall off. So I thought, nope, it's too much. I've got cards that are, I mean, I can't just take them out and sell them. So I've got extra cards lying around. I've got so much work to do that I can't do it. It was a great thought, but I think I made it to the 11th and I'm like, no, this is too much. Sorry, I think I just knocked my phone. Okay, so again, I'm going to dot her shoes. If you don't feel comfortable using the bullet tip on this, you can use your Stampin' Write marker. However, that being said, oh, I didn't stamp the cat. If you are planning on doing any coloring after you've used your Stampin' Write marker, it will bleed. So if you're going to use a Stampin' Write marker, journaling pen, whatever you're comfortable with for her shoes, do it at the very end. Coloring in her little belt. This is probably a little finicky, but I'm also doing the buckle on there with a little bit of Daffodil Delight, but it's a hot mess in there right now. Let me grab this cat before I forget, because I'm gonna run out of room. She's so cute. Prim and proper little kitty. So we'll let her sit for a minute. I'm going to start on her hair. So I need dark pumpkin pie, soft suede, let's do dark, and cinnamon cider. Let's do light cinnamon cider. I feel like because she's got curls and there's already so many little strips in here that I was just going to color them that way. You don't have to. I know this is a little extra, but it's in the details, right? Sorry, I'm going to concentrate a little bit here while I figure out the hair. I don't want to have too many spots where I've got the same colors nearby. Let's do a little bit more cinnamon cider back here. We'll add a little bit of pumpkin pie, and then the rest will be soft suede. So let's do some around her face. And while I'm trying to concentrate, on my make a take, like the project PDF, there are deadlines and important dates coming up that are at the bottom on the very last page. And the first of the month is always the deadline for the Blends Club that I'm doing with Tiffany. And the 20th is always the deadline for Creativity Delivered. For Blends Club in March, we are featuring the hot dog stamp set, which is that cute little wiener dog. And for Creativity Delivered in March, we are doing, whoa, I think I must have used light. We are using the Shark Frenzy bundle. So if you would like to purchase either one of those, you can shop with Tiffany in the